Heaven.
Heaven you can do in several different ways. Because heaven is upwards, I raise my hands to open fifth, and I like to express heaven like this. Sometimes to cross your wrists, and then spin again. I just like spinning. That's the way that I seem to get closer to the Lord, and I'm sure he likes it as well.
Earth.
So we've got heaven, and we've got earth, because earth is down. It's best to keep your back straight and just to allow your legs to bend. So that's earth.
Glory.
Glory is just amazing. It speaks to me of the Lord's presence. When you're thinking of a word to express, think what it means to you. What glory means to me is going to be different to what glory means to you. So for me, glory is like praise and heavenly and just coming back to the Lord and lifting my hands up. That's glory.
Brightness.
Brightness is like looking at the sun. You can't look at the sun very much because obviously it hurts your eyes. So brightness is coming from your eyes. You can do it with two hands and spring up. That's how I express brightness, but you might jump up and turn round as well. Brightness.
Sky.
Sky, again, I tend to like to go into open fifth. It's similar to heaven, because heaven, I always think of being in the sky. But then bring your arms down, so it's almost like something that's shading your head. So if it's raining, then the sky, the clouds are almost falling, so the clouds can come down and you can bring your hands down. If it's heavy cloud, that's how you can do it. But of course, you've got the sky, and if you've got rain clouds, so rain again, wiggle your fingers. You can wiggle to the side, so you can have one in front, one to the side. But it's also good to follow your hands with your head. It gives emphasis to the movement that you're doing, and I just think it looks nice.
Almighty God.
Now, God is up here. So I like to put one hand here and one hand up. You can do that as God. So one hand open fifth, one hand demi-second. And see if you can get your lines straight so it's a diagonal. That's how I like to express God. And that's Almighty God. And again, bring it up and then bring it back down again to Braba.
Jesus.
Jesus, I've thought and thought and thought, how on earth do you express Jesus? But he had nail prints in his hands and he bled for each of us. And Thomas wanted to touch the nail prints in his hands. So I like to touch the palm of my hands. And I remember the way that Jesus bled and he died and he paid the price for my sin. So Jesus, that's how I like to express him.
Majesty.
Majesty is worshipping and it's also adoring. So I'll almost pray, bring my hands up, circle round, and then do a praise movement. That's how I like to express majesty. I'm sure there are many other ways of expressing his majesty, but that's the way that I like to express.
King.
King, I like to think as a crown. So because you're just using your body, I put my hands up and pretend I'm putting a crown on my head and imagine that's Jesus. So that's the king.
Kingdom.
Kingdom, I think of the king with his crown. And I like to think of the crown as extending. So I move my head over a little bit and move my hands still in the crown position. In a circle, you can go right the way round and bring it back. Kingdom. You might have some other ideas for kingdom, but that works well for me.
Throne.
Throne, I imagine Jesus in heaven with his crown on, sitting down. So to sit down in a way that you're not going to fall over, in dance there's such a thing as a court curtsy. You cross your legs over. I'm going to have to lift my skirt just a little bit so you can see my knees. So cross your legs, and then you're sitting on your own knee. So that's sitting, that's a court curtsy. So you've got your, Jesus' crown is on his head, legs crossed, front foot flat on the floor, back foot on your toe. You're going to keep all of your weight on your front foot, and you're aiming for your knees to go under, so you're actually sitting on your own lap. So it looks like this. A court curtsy takes a lot of practice, but once you've mastered it, I challenge anybody to fall over. It's very, very difficult. Hence the reason it's called a court curtsy, because ladies hundreds of years ago with their beautiful crinolines had to stay there because they couldn't be taller than the queen or the king. This is how I like to express throne.
Angels.
Angels come from heaven in the presence of God. So I like to do God, bring the other hand down so it's crossed, then bring both arms through Brabah, through second to open fifth, then bring them down. Another way of doing it is, again, God, with one hand in open fifth, the other hand crossed over here, bring it back down, bring both hands up, and you can wave your fingers a little bit as if the angels are flying. Angels.